Hey, it's 2012 and the Better Place Ministries Regional School of Prayer is back again by popular demand. To pray is to partner with God, to accomplish the purposes of God. As we release the power of God in prayer, we do this by giving voice to the will of God and all the time listening to God. Now, to do that, we need to be taught. And that's what the School of Prayer is about, and that's how God's been using it. In Luke, the 5th chapter, in the 16th verse, we are told that Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray. And in the very next verse, the 17th verse, it says, "And the power of God was with him to heal the sick." The way Luke wrote that, you can't miss the connection. Jesus had the power to heal the sick because he was a man of prayer. We're told in Paul's letter to the Philippians that being in very nature God, Jesus didn't hang on to that. He emptied himself and took on the form of a servant. Although he was Emmanuel, God with us, he emptied himself of all the power of Godhood, and he lived a life fully as a man by the power of the Holy Spirit, showing us exactly what we could do. The way he tapped into that power was through prayer. He was a man of prayer. No wonder the disciples, upon hearing Jesus say that anyone, absolutely anyone who believes in him will do the same things he did and even greater things, asked him, "Lord, teach us how to pray." They recognized that the reason Jesus was able to do what he did with the power and effect that he did it was because Jesus was a man of prayer. We need to be taught to pray too. Jesus was glad to teach them how to pray. You can read about it in Luke chapter 11. And what our School of Prayer is about is learning better how to pray. I know you know how to pray. We all know how to pray, but there's so much that we need to learn. Those disciples knew how to pray, but they knew they needed to learn more, so they requested that. Now, the Better Place Regional School of Prayer is a place where unity is experienced. People come together from many, many congregations representing different denominations. And in the 133rd Psalm, it says that wherever people gather together in unity, there God commands a blessing. And that's exactly what we experience and what you can look forward to when you come to the Regional School of Prayer. God shows up. At one of our recent schools, there was a number of young women who came from the State University of New York at Fredonia. And after experiencing the School of Prayer that full Saturday that they came, and upon hearing there that the very next weekend I would be teaching a workshop at a church in Fredonia, they all said, "We're going to go to that workshop. Is it too late to register?" And they all got registered. One of them even had made plans before to go home to her parents in Rochester. She canceled those plans because she didn't want to miss more of what God was downloading. This School of Prayer is a prayed-for school. Literally, people all around the world pray for this. And so God shows up because of the unity. God shows up because of the prayer. God shows up and has a good time teaching us how to pray. Jesus is present at these schools of prayer. At the School of Prayer is comprised of 3 different sessions. Each session is 1 full day long. They begin at 8:30 in the morning and go all the way to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. During that time, there's 4 full hours at different times of actual teaching, but also woven through there is worship, just break times with refreshments for fellowship. There's lunch, of course. There's times of ministering to each other and practicing what we're learning in prayer. Each year we do this. We've done it at a different location, someplace in Chautauqua County. This year, 2012, the host is going to be the Park Church in Sinclairville, New York. And that's at the heart of Chautauqua County, but easily accessible by people from all over western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. It'll be a quick trip for anybody within that geographic region. The dates of the Schools of Prayer this year, each session, the first session is August the 18th, that's a Saturday. The second session is September the 22nd. The third session is November the 10th. Now, what if you can come on one of those dates and you can't come on all of them? Doesn't matter. Each session stands alone. So if you can make it in August, but can't make it in September, but can in November, do it. Just come to whatever you can. Registration forms for this have been widely distributed throughout this region of Western New York and Pennsylvania. But if you didn't get one and you don't have one at a church you go to, just email me, Roy at the Better Place, thebetterplace.org. Real simple. My first name is Roy, R-O-Y, at thebetterplace.org. Request information about the Regional School of Prayer, and I will just reply to you, giving you that information as an attachment on that email. Well, you've heard about it. You can help spread the word, direct other people to watch this video. Please keep the School in Prayer, and I hope that I will be seeing you at that School of Prayer. We want to bring as many people from as many denominations and congregations together as we can to pray and seek God to be the house of prayer that Jesus said we're supposed to be. And as we come together, God will command a blessing, and we're the ones who are going to receive it and be used by God to transform the world.